What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this, please make sure you subscribe. If you're new here, my name is Izzy and I'm a journalist, and I make videos here on YouTube where I visit different animal shelters. I speak to them about the work they do, but also raising awareness on different topics and issues, and speaking about the challenges that they face day to day. I also speak to different charities and organisations about how they help animals change people's lives. This can be from hearing dogs to guide dogs to animal assisted therapy. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this, and let's find out where we are off to today. So today I'm in Warrington at Warrington Animal Welfare. Now they started neutering dogs about 40 years ago, and then about 10 years ago they started rescuing and rehoming dogs, cats and rabbits. This is Fabia and Roxanne. I'm going to find out a little bit more about their story, as well as the work that everyone here does and the main topics and issues that they feel need more awareness. So yeah, let's go and find out a bit more. Tell me all about where the shelter all started.
So I think it was over 40 years ago now. There was June Jackson, and Joan Rimmer started it just as a charity to get dogs neutered, essentially. So they just set it up to get bitch spays done, just to try and help the problem. Obviously, sort of going back 40 years, you wouldn't know yourself, but there was dogs running all over the streets. There was a lot more out and about, and much more of them getting pregnant and stuff like that. So they started out just to help out dogs initially, and then just over 10 years ago, maybe about 12 years ago, we bought this site off Cats Protection when they moved to their new site in Padgate, and then we started taking on more. So we do cats now and rabbits, and just generally anything that gets sort of brought to the door as well.
And what is the main ethos here and what you stand for?
The main ethos is prevention rather than cure. So what we try to do, we try to inform the community and help people out with getting their cats neutered, particularly the cats. We do dogs, occasionally rabbits as well. But just get to the problem before it starts, really. Just try and get people to neuter their animals, and also just to try and educate and inform that one of the things we find quite a lot these days, particularly since COVID, is people take on animals with that sort of instant gratification, without really thinking about the long-term costs. We have a lot of people calling up, have spent thousands of pounds on a cat or a dog, and then can't afford it when it's broken its leg or is sick or something, and they want us to pay for the vet costs for free, which isn't really something we can do. So we just try to get people's animals neutered so there's less out there, and try and educate them about taking on insurance and thinking about long-term costs of feeding, vet bills, stuff like that. Because obviously vet bills have gone up for everyone. It's not a good time for anybody, but it's not just for fun. It's the actual costs that have gone up, so the costs for us have gone up as well. So wages have gone up, vet supplies, vet time, so it does cost us more as well. So if we can have less animals out there suffering and being taken care of, then it obviously makes it easier for us as well.
So you talked about a few there, but what are the main topics and issues that you feel need more awareness when it comes to dogs, cats and rabbits?
Definitely education, and just long-term commitments. I think people will often take on an animal, just not realise, one, how long it's going to live, and two, just how much it's going to cost to look after it. I think COVID was a bad time because people were at home, they got animals to look after, particularly dogs was a really bad one after we've come out of lockdown. But people really didn't think beyond the next few months, if you know what I mean. They took on a cat, for example. They can feed it every day and that's okay, they can buy the litter for it, but they haven't really thought about what happens when it gets older, if it has any kind of long-term illnesses, any chronic illnesses, or just accidents as well. So some examples of what can happen is 2 Februaries ago we went into a house, a couple had just been evicted, and they'd gotten 2 cats in lockdown, male and female, not got them neutered, never let them out. We went in roughly 3 years later, and there was 46 cats in the house, all from that first original 2, obviously very inbred. They weren't let outside, so they didn't have much litter, didn't have much food. The house was in a real bad mess, and basically what the cats had been living on was their own feces and any kittens that were born. That was the only thing that kept them going. It's an extreme example, but it just shows what can happen if people let things get out of control.
So you run a number of different campaigns, including neutering, but what other ones are there and what do they involve?
It's mainly the neutering ones that we try to do the most. That's the forefront what we're trying to help out at the moment. So as I say, we have our clinic here, so we do 2 or 3 times a week we'll have a clinic with a vet who'll come in. We'll do our animals obviously, but we also work with the Cats Protection to get cats protection vouchers for low cost households, and then we'll bring them in, get them neutered and get them back as well. But say maybe 3-4 times a year we'll have a special weekend that we'll try to do. We'll get a load of vets to come in and volunteer their time, so they do it for free. They'll all come in and we'll campaign in low cost areas, sort of areas that are a bit deprived or people are struggling, where we get a lot of phone calls from, and we'll sort of leaflet there, advertise there, and then we'll take in as many cats as we possibly can do in the time. So the last one we did, I think it was 75 cats over 3 days. So we go and pick them up, we get them neutered, we get them microchipped, and we drop them back off with them as well.
And finally, what are the hopes for the future here at the shelter?
Well, hopefully we never need. Hopefully everyone gets animals and don't have to give them up. We just hope to be able to ease the problem, really. As to say, we think prevention rather than cure. So if we can get out there, we can get people thinking about what happens when they take an animal on. I mean, you have like rabbits and guinea pigs, very easy to get hold of, for example, but aren't the easiest animals to look after. So just giving people an idea of what they're taking on, being here for advice if needs be, and just generally trying to get the problem under control, because I know you've spoken to other rescues and I'm sure they've all said the same, but we're always full. Just this morning we've taken a call, well, not one call, but we've spoken to people about 14 different cats before 11 o'clock. We've had 3 calls about cane corsos in 10 minutes, all needing to be given up. As I say, if we can get a hold of that problem, maybe sort of reduce the numbers, so if people do need to relinquish an animal for some reason, there is space. That's what we'd aim for. But as I say, at the moment, every rescue centre across the country is having to say no every day, and it goes against what we want to do. We don't do it for fun. We really, really would want to help everyone we can, but it's overwhelming at the moment, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so who do we have here?
So this is Flavia, sister Roxanna's out the back. So these were 2 of 4 kittens that were born in a street basically where one family had a lot of cats breeding out of control. So lots of people took the cats in. Those cats had kittens because they didn't get them neutered, and the whole road was just full of cats essentially. So Flavia and Roxanna were from a home where one of the daughters of the original cat gave birth to kittens. They popped the kittens in the garage and just left them there to grow up, didn't really socialise them at all. So they've not been well socialised. So with cats, when kittens are about 4 to 5 weeks old, they learn what's going to hurt them, what's going to be safe in life. So if they miss out on that being handled at that time, each week that goes past it gets twice as hard to domesticate them. So we got them about 8 weeks old, so it's still possible, but it just takes a lot longer. So we're just working on them. They're a little bit more shy than normal cats. It just takes a bit of time to come out of the shells. So obviously kitten season runs from about March through to September. So we've got a lot of tiny kittens in now, so these ones will get overlooked. The little kittens that come to the front that are very friendly, that are nice colours, so tortoiseshells, gingers, grey cats, that type of thing, they'll get taken first. These ones will get overlooked and they'll end up growing up with us a little bit more. So these ones definitely were ones that need some kind of help and home if possible.
And do you find this is a common theme, then, people handing in cats that haven't been well socialised when they were younger? Yes,
a lot more and more. With centres being full and not being able to find enough space for everyone, people get quite sick of it, if I'm honest. I think they think we're just messing them around, whereas we generally want to help them, we just don't have the space. And people will just lose patience essentially and chuck them out into the streets. So if the cats are on the streets, as I say, that vital few weeks when they're quite young gets missed out, and they end up, I say, not too bad. They can come around, it just takes a lot longer than normal. And we provide everything for them here, so they get food, water, warmth, they get shelter, but it's not a home environment, and it's quite stressful for them. So when they do come in, we can socialise them. We have really good volunteers that come in and sit with them, play with them, get them used to people. But it's only a few hours a day. We're not here all the time, so it's not ideal for them. So it'd be much better if people could keep the cats at home. Well socialised kittens are the ones that get rehomed the easiest, definitely.